Gender discrimination, it's a really important issue for us as women to be talking about. And there's a lot of talk about the unfortunate situations that women find themselves in the workplace, and when it comes to advancing and promoting and just being treated equally and being paid equally. I wrote an article for my blog this week that I hope that you'll read, but I wanted to get on video real quick and just share a few thoughts I have about how to overcome and how to stop gender discrimination. One of the things that really stands out in my mind is how sometimes people don't know that they're putting out microaggressions, that they are actually discriminating. I actually have friends that have helped me succeed, that have helped me promote, that have helped me elevate to higher levels of sphere of influence, who have had microaggressions against me without really realizing it. And I'll give you an example. When my husband and I were starting my corporation, you go through a process, at least here in California, where you have to decide who is going to be the officers of the corporation: CEO, secretary, and treasurer. So I told this person that I was going to be the CEO and the treasurer, and that my husband was going to be the secretary. And this was a man, and he said, "Oh, just like all marriages, the woman controls the money and makes all the decisions, and the guy gets left holding the bag," or something like that. And I thought that was a really weird comment, because my husband's career has been a firefighter, and my career has been as a CEO. So the answer is no. It's not that I need to control everything. It's that I've been a CEO for 20 years. So it kind of makes sense, right? So I don't want us to believe as a gender that when there's discrimination, it's always intentional. I like to think about it in terms of creating eye-opening moments for people, so that they get to see us in a different light, so that they get to see us in a way that they're not used to seeing us. That really is what it boils down to, isn't it? Is that we can start to have the world see us as leaders in a world where we used to see only men as leaders. We have to change that norm. And the only way to do it is for more of us to be in the top position. Only 5% of Fortune 500 CEOs are women, only 14% of government executives. We only get 2.7% of venture capital. And yet, people like Kevin O'Leary, famous from Shark Tank, the billionaire, will say that 95% of his profit in his invested companies comes from women-owned companies. So there's proof out there that we're needed at the top. It's not just a matter of diversity. It's not just a matter of our skill sets and our strengths. It's a matter of profit. But for us as women, it's also a matter of fulfillment. I'm not going to say that the only reason that we're not there is discrimination. Sometimes we hold ourselves back. It's a well-researched fact that men will apply for a job when they feel they have 60% of the qualifications, and women wait till they feel like they have 100%. And so we're not going for it as often as men are. But when it comes to discrimination, if we can't get past it by having a heartfelt conversation with someone who's a friend, because they don't realize they've just issued a microaggression against us, there's other ways to handle it. And that's what my article is about. I'll give you a brief synopsis of what I'm talking about in my article. And the brief synopsis is this: we have female strengths. The female strengths of giving and leveraging are absolutely tools we should be using to advance in the workplace. I'm not suggesting you use that only and not have the skill sets. My guess is you probably have more skill sets than you realize. So don't wait till it's 100%, because you as a woman have the ability to figure it out. We all know that. Women have the ability to figure it out. That is one of our strengths. We can deliver, okay? It doesn't matter what realm of life we're talking about, whether it's raising kids, in the marriage, dealing with family, whatever it is, women have the innate ability to figure it out. So go for it and use your female strengths of giving and leveraging to to develop relationships with key influencers. Key influencers that if they were to wave a magic wand, you could get promoted. That if they picked up the phone and said, "Hey, hire Lacy," that someone would do it. Who are the people that influence the ones that you need to be on your side? That's what I go over in this article. And how can you build those relationships? Particularly, how can you build those relationships when someone seems untouchable? In my article, I suggest that you make a list of key influencers and pick out the top 5 that can really help you get where you want to go and start building a relationship with them. And when you do that, it's really likely that one of them is going to be seem untouchable. You've probably heard the 7 degrees of Kevin Bacon. Everybody's connected to somebody in some way. That's sort of the theory here, is that if you have someone who is untouchable, you start looking and researching who is connected to them that you could reach into their lives in some way and build a relationship with them. So think of it as a tier. We think of it this way in fundraising. You get someone in at this level, and then you get at this level, and then you get at this level. So is this a long-term strategy? Yes. But if we get people on our side that can influence those promotion decisions, we can find more of ourselves at the top. This is how I have done it for about half of my career. The other half, I struggled to figure out, how do I get past this and get to the top? So I cover this in detail in my article, but I really want you to think about how important it is that you take action and you start influencing your way to higher levels. When more people start to see women at the top, it will become more commonplace. It will become more accepted. People will start seeing us as the leaders we are, but we have to start first. And we can't just do it for us. We have to do it for our daughters. We have to do it for our fellow sisters out there who are trying to offer more to the world. The world is waiting for our skill sets. Our skill sets are needed to solve the world's most complex problems, to create profit in organizations, to create jobs. I mean, let's do this. And if all women took this approach, then all ships rise, and we start to change the dynamic of gender discrimination. I'm Lacy Schoen. Wherever you are in the world, scroll down and leave me a comment, and go out there and kill it this week.